I'll be real. I'm feeling very nervous, very anxious. Not only because I'm on this stage and in front of you beautiful people, but also because at this age, it's a race. Would you agree with me? You want to be the smartest kid. You want to be the kid on the committee. You want to be the kid that's the president. You want to be the kid with a banging love life. You want to be the kid that's the most social. Yes? Party animals, haath uthaye. It's a race. We are constantly in a race to get somewhere. And in all that race, I think we lose sight. When I was asked to speak here, I thought, what could I tell my younger self that would really add value? मैं आज क्या बोल सकता हूँ that will actually teach you something? And here is what I came up with. I wish someone would have told me, you don't have to fit into a box. You don't have to be a certain way. You don't have to be the typical person. Society, our culture, and a lot of other things push us into a box. Am I right? We need to figure out who we are. What makes us us? What makes us special? What makes us unique? And what makes us brilliant? I'm going to start with my story, and if you can bear with me, believe it or not, I was this really shy, introverted, quiet kid who'd want to be invisible. I still remember, break mein, I would hide in the classroom and I would not go out. For 5 years, guys, I was this kid. I came from a privileged family, mashallah. I had just moved to Pakistan. So sabse pehle to I didn't know Urdu. So I was exempted from Urdu. So I got alienated immediately because I didn't know my own language. Then second, I just felt very shy. I felt very like I didn't want my people to know who I am, so I hid. Funny story, farewells hote, bonfires hote, do they still happen? Okay. So on a bonfire, I remember O-levels mein bonfire ho raha tha, and jaise committees hoti hai, one committee asked me to dance. And for some reason, I said, okay, you know what, Hasan, this is something you can do. This is something you're good at. No one has ever seen it. Maybe I should do it. So I did it. And I remember watching everyone's face when I started to dance. That invisible kid, all of a sudden, started becoming visible. It was the first time people started to see me. And we want validation. We do. You may say it, I don't care what other people think, but it feels good when other people appreciate you, right? So the validation felt good. Achanak se, guys, I became the cool Karachi boy. I became the boy who everybody wanted to invite. I was invited to all the events. I started becoming very social. Things started going a little uphill for me. Okay, let's pause it here and let's move on to university. I went to York University, Toronto, Ontario. And at York University, my brother said, "Beta, tum honors in economics karoge, kyunki marketing kaun karta hai?" Right? So I enrolled in honors in economics, and I started doing my honors at York University, where I bumped into dance yet again. South Asian Alliance, Canada का एक बहुत बड़ा dance competition होता है, where about 40,000 people come to watch the show. Anyway, The university was having auditions. I went for the audition. Have you guys gone for an audition before? I went for an audition thinking, yeah, I'm the cool Hasan Rizvi and I can dance and, you know, everyone talks about me and I'm going to kick ass. But I went to this audition and there were 6,000 people. 6,000 people in line waiting to audition. Anyway, as the line became closer, I started to see the auditions and these Indian kids were amazing. Amazing. Like when they danced, you watched. All of a sudden now, I was like, oh crap, these guys are really good. Guys, you can't compare Indians to Pakistanis when it comes to dance. उनके culture में, उनके religion में, हर सड़क पे there's a dance school. जैसे यहाँ हमें math पढ़ाई जाती है जैसे हम पैदा होते हैं, उनको वहाँ dance पढ़ाई जाती है. So you can't compare on the amount of skill they have. Anyway, I had waited for 6 hours. मैंने कहा चलो थोड़ा और wait कर लेते हैं, audition दे देते हैं. I gave the audition. 2 weeks later, I got a call saying, "Hi Hasan, congratulations, you are the first Pakistani to ever participate in South Asian Games. Your university won first prize that year after 14 years. It was incredible. It was the best feeling in the world." Okay, I'm going to fast forward to another phase in my life. 1 year before graduating, I went to my mom, like a lot of you guys will go soon. And I said, Ammi, I want to marry my high school sweetheart. And she said just one thing, and I remember clearly her saying, "Beta, are you sure?" And I said, "Ammi, I'm 100% sure." And you know what her answer was? "Beta, तुम्हारे भाई और बहन को मैं संभाल लूंगी." And that's what she said. My brother and my sister were like my parents. They made all the decisions for me. Economics पढ़ना है, शादी कब करोगे, financial decisions, etc., etc. My mom and my dad are like my best friends. Luckily, I've been very blessed. Anyway, graduated, came back, did 8 months of dance practices, did a shadi like an IFA award, got married. And a few days after my marriage, my wife says to me, "Listen, I need to go buy shampoo and all of this. Can you take me to a store? I need to do groceries." I said, "Okay, let's go." And I went downstairs, and as I started going out towards my dad's room, she goes, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to take money." So she said, "Money for what?" So I said, "तुम्हें shampoo लेना है, right?" तो she said, "तुम अपने बाप से पैसे लोगे मेरा shampoo लेने के लिए?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I will not buy anything from your parents' money. I will buy and I will survive on the money you make." And here's where the first opportunity came my way for me to start building my brand. Guys, I'm going to say opportunity a few times. And when I say opportunity, you're going to be like, ये opportunity तो नहीं थी, ये मुसीबत थी, या problem थी, या crossroad था, या hurdle था. Why is he calling it opportunity? And I'll tell you, because today when I am 40 years old, I think it's an opportunity. But back then I thought it was a problem, and I hope I can change the mindset in just 1 or 2 of you to look at problems as opportunities. And I'll explain how. So my wife said, "Get a job, bro." And I said, "Okay." I got my first job at Dawn News as a marketing executive for 14,000 rupees. Guys, मैं इतना बुढ़ा नहीं हूँ. 14,000 wasn't a lot of money even then. मेरा fuel का bill महीने का 20,000 रुपए था. Right? So how am I going to sustain? How am I going to... I've taken a responsibility. How am I going to sustain my life, my wife's life, my lifestyle, all of that? How am I going to do it? You know, शादी पे जो पैसे मिलते हैं वो थोड़ा अर्सा चलेंगे, right? What am I going to do after that, right? So I thought, okay, you know what, Hasan? People know me for dance. I'm a little popular. उस जमाने में Facebook event pages बनते थे, अगर किसी को याद है. I made a Facebook event page and I invited a few of my friends, an open event page, and they invited some of their friends. And guys, I made a pact to myself. I said, I'm going to try this once. And I'll tell you why I made this pact. Because how do I go tell my mother-in-law that मैं एक dance class करने वाला हूँ? How do I tell my parents I'm from a business family, I'm from an affluent family? How do I tell them that I'm going to start teaching dance? How? Even today, a lot of you are thinking, how did this happen? And this was 17 years ago. So I made a pact that if this works, then amazing. It's a sign. But if this does not work and this flops, I will never dance again. So I sent out this event page and I invited a few of my friends. And I remember my wife and I walking into Shapes Health Studio, which is where I was having the dance class, body beat dance class. And there were 250 people waiting outside to register. On the first day, we had a waiting list for a year, which meant that if you wanted to take a dance class with me, you would have to wait 1 year to get into the class. Again, an opportunity presented itself and I took it. Okay, we're going to fast forward onto the next stage of my life, and I will call this the biggest blessing and opportunity when I had kids. When I had kids, माँ बाप क्या सवाल पूछते हैं? बच्चों के फ्यूचर का क्या सोच रहे हो? घर कब बनाओगे? गाड़ियाँ कब लोगे? ज़मीन कब लोगे? How are you securing your kids? You guys aren't there yet, but you guys will get there soon. And when you get there, people will ask you, family, society will ask you these questions. How are you securing your future? How are you securing your kids' future? So I needed to make more money. Again, an opportunity. I started doing these commercial events. I don't know if you guys know, but back then, commercial events नहीं होते थे. अब तो आसिम अजहर का concert, Karachi Eat, Soul Fest, right? There's a lot of these commercial events happening. Back then, they didn't happen. So I started doing these commercial events. One of the events that I did was for Pepsi. Does anyone remember when Burger King launched in Pakistan? Yes? It was about 14, 15 years ago. So I launched the first Burger King and Pepsi collaboration. Jispe Pepsi asked me something. They said, "Yaar Hasan, tum dance mein, तुमने सारे award shows कर लिए हैं, movies कर लिए हैं, TVCs कर लिए हैं, तुम सबको जानते हो, तुम PR कर दो इस event की." I was like, PR क्या होता है? I googled what is PR because I didn't know what PR was. उस जमाने में PR होता था प्रेस रिलीज अखबारों में डाल दें, मॉर्निंग शो में भेज दें, सेलिब्रिटी को बुला लें, ये होता था उस जमाने में PR. PR now is another ball game. It's a beautiful world, and I'll explain that too. So when Pepsi asked me to do the PR, I said, okay, you know what? I'll do the PR, but I will not charge you. I will do it for free. You know why I did that? Because I was like, what if no one comes? What am I going to do? So I did it for free, and it was one of the most iconic events that PR has ever seen. This brought me to the love of my life, not my wife. PR, public relations. Public relations is one of the most beautiful things in the world. So, like I am asking you to build your brand, brands have personalities. Every brand, whether you think of Apple or Samsung or Pepsi or Coca-Cola, every brand sells a feeling, talks a certain way, walks a certain way. आज मैं भी सूट पहन के आ सकता था, but I didn't wear a suit for a reason. Because if I'm asking you to be authentic, if I'm asking you to be real, if I'm asking you to be unique, if I'm asking you to love your own brand, then I should love my own. I forgot where I was in the story. Brand, yeah. So, brands, I'll talk a little bit about brands, and if any of you want to talk to me in more detail, you're always welcome. But brands, what I started to do when I opened BBPR, Body Beat PR, I kept the name because it was good luck for me. When I opened Body Beat PR, I began to understand there was something that I could do that nobody else could do, which was I could give my brands a personality. Today, Body Beat PR has Unilever Pakistan, Pepsi Pakistan, Reckitt Benckiser Pakistan, Shell Pakistan, Continental Biscuits Pakistan, and many, many, many more. So guys, just one thing I wish I would have told my younger self, and I'm telling you the same thing as I wrap this up, is find out what makes you unique. I tell everyone in my team this, that listen, there is something in you that will make you superb. कुछ लोग ये सोच रहे होंगे कि I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be an engineer, I don't need to build my personal brand. No, there will be someone who is more skilled than you. There will be someone who's more educated than you, someone more hardworking than you, maybe someone even more good looking than you, it doesn't matter. But there is something in you that's going to make you the best in the world. And you need to find that. I'd like to close this by saying, Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to reintroduce myself. My name is Hasan Rizvi. I love dance. I love PR. I'm a family man. And I will not fit into a box.